For me, this tour had everything I could hope for and much more. I was on a previous trip that went to Paris. We had a terrific group there, people from different backgrounds. There were some photographers, there were some writers, there were some poets and artists like myself. And this diverse group came together and shared a lot of interest in the art scene in Paris. And even when we visited different places like Monet's garden, we all looked at it from different angles. And in my discussion with the others, we shared our different interests, and I could see things from their point of view and vice versa. But for me, the highlight was Auvers-sur-Oise. In Auvers-sur-Oise, there were many stops where Vincent, who spent the last 2.5 months of his life before he shot himself, there were many spots there where he painted, and posters were put up to indicate that this is where he stood when he painted it. And for me I've done a deep study of Vincent's life and his interests, and for me to actually see the landscapes that he saw was an absolute highlight. I walked through Auvers-sur-Oise. I did much more than what the others did. I walked through the streets, and I went there by myself on one of our free days and spent the whole day there, including being fortunate enough to spend about 15 minutes in his little room in the attic where he finally passed away. And by the way, this room is much the same now as it was over 120 years ago when he died, because after his death, no one actually lived in that room because of superstition that the person who suicided actually died there. So because of that, the room and the painting and the setup is much the same. It's minus the furniture, his bed and all have been removed, but it's just a tiny room. And to think that this is where he spent the last 2 months of his life, and if anyone gets vibes in that room, it'll be vibes of Vincent only, because no one else has actually stayed in that room since then.